like the content we bring you about the heavy metal world, please like, subscribe, and comment to help us grow the channel.
This is Matt with Metal Express Radio. I have with me legendary drummer Chris Slade. How are you today, man?
Pretty good, thank you. Still alive.
I can say the same for me. So your group, Chris Slade's Timeline, you just released a new album, and how does it feel to have the album done and out?
It's great, actually. It's Timescape, and here's that's the cover. And of course, it's on downloads as well. I'm really pleased to finally, we've been together 12 years, the band. Same people. You know, we work all over Europe, mainly, in all the countries, even like a city like Prague or something like that, or Portugal, all the P's. I still really enjoy being on the road. I've always liked it. A lot of people can't say that. A lot of people hate it and they can't handle it. But it's for me, it's fantastic. And the band, it's a pleasure and a privilege to work with the band because they're all great musicians. It's half and half. We do half AC/DC because that's what a lot of people want. And we do half of the other parts of my career, like Jimmy Page, David Gilmour, Mantra Man's Earth Band. So I'm really pleased to get this album out. And it sort of shows off the band in many ways, apart from musicianship. It just shows off the fact that, you know, James Cornford is a great guitarist. And as I say, he and Mike, the keyboard player, Mike Clark, they've been playing together since they were 11 years old. And they're 35 now. So, you know, they're a pretty tight unit. And I think, it shows a side of the band, because there are 2 CDs. One CD is the covers, which includes AC/DC, of course, and Asia, and a few other bands I've worked with. Mantra Man's Earth Band. And the other CD is original stuff written by us. Pleased is not the word. It's really fantastic to get a product out to the public.
And one thing I noticed after taking a listen, there's something there for everyone. It seems like there's some stuff that's heavier. There's the classics that you just talked about, revisiting some of the AC/DC songs. So, I mean, going into this, did you kind of have that mindset of making a record that was diverse and had something for everyone?
Yes, it is diverse. And, I always wanted 2 CDs to do exactly that, to show, but we never had originals before. We've always recorded, in the 10 years, we've always recorded. It's always been covers, like the people I just mentioned, and Uriah Heep as well. There's another one I didn't mention. It really came up to my expectation, which is surprising, you know, to be really proud of something like that. And it took us long enough to do it, but only in the last 2.5 years, really, was I confident enough to write some melodies, and it just happened. Overnight, I got some ideas. That started me writing. I've always written lyrics since Earthband days, 70s. With this, I was able to write melodies, which didn't just become song melodies. They became bass lines, string lines, guitar arpeggios, all sorts of stuff like that, which I was very surprised how well that turned out. And it is, as I said before, it's great to share that with the public. I hope they like it.
You mentioned this was your first time writing some original songs with this group. How was that process?
I found it fantastic, actually. So I'd get an idea, and I'd start with perhaps a silly idea like, why don't I try some echo here, or repeat echo. Repeat echo. Oh, sorry. And so, I don't know how it started, but it's just, some of them started with lyrics, some started with just ideas like that, some started with bass lines, and I just built on them like a jigsaw, and it just sort of came together. So please, it's not it's not the word, it's ecstatic really with the way it turned out. I just hope people will like it, that's all.
The reviews have trickled in, and it's been nothing but positive feedback, so it seems like people do like it. And how has it been just taking in all the good feedback?
It's been great. There has been great feedback. And I was surprised at that because, we used to get in reviews like, oh yeah, but they're not like AC/DC, are they? We don't try to be an AC/DC tribute band. Although we play AC/DC songs, we often change them around a little bit, although you can't mess with classic arrangements, And Angus and Malcolm are geniuses at arranging songs and writing songs. And so you can't change them too much, just here or there, a little bit different. And I think Bun Davis does a fantastic job of doing an AC/DC type voice. So people listening to it can be sounding quite authentic as far as I'm concerned. I know we can't be AC/DC. Who can be? You can't be David Gilmour. Who can be? Can't be Jimmy Page. Unless you're Jimmy Page. But nevertheless, we can do a good job and entertain people. Because we play for like 2 hours every night. And as I think I said, half it is AC/DC, the other half is other stuff. You're a Heat, Earth Band, just good songs. People are only disappointed when I announce it's the last song of the night. And it's like, it's all positive, and nobody's ever disappointed with the band. I don't think we've had a bad night. We've even played festivals and we do things. I started with Tom Jones in the 1960s. And we sometimes do a Tom Jones song. We did a death metal festival in the south of France a few years back. And I realized that I'd given the band the set list from the night before. And this was a death metal festival. And I realized that the night before, the same set list, I had Delilah on it. And I thought, oh, it's just death metal. What are we going to do? I thought, we'll do it anyway. So we did it. And there they were, the death metalers, hands up in the air, waving their arms, singing, why, Delilah,
Oh, man.
Which was bizarre. I mean, thousands of them, And that was really bizarre. And I thought, well, all these people want is entertaining. And if they're entertained by death metal, so be it. Here's some Tom Jones for you. And it worked.
I just have that mental image in my head now.
Yeah. Wearing leathers, long hair, down here, and arms in the air singing Delilah. Amazing.
How is it going out there, being at where you're at in your career, and you can just reach kind of not your typical audience like that?
It's fantastic because our audience, like AC/DC, is all ages. You get grandfathers along with 10-year-old kids, bringing a 10-year-old kid along. And it's the same with AC/DC. That happens a lot. where granddads bring their grandchildren along to see the AC/DC. It's the same with Earthband. Sorry, it's the same with Timeline. That's a Freudian slip. And, I see the connection with Earthband, actually, because it feels to me like an Earthband album, being so diverse, because with Earthband we used to, do things from all sorts of places. Bob Dylan, and we used to write ourselves, and it was very diverse, and always played with musicianship. That's why I love it still. And we drive everywhere. We don't fly because we can use our own equipment. We'll drive to Prague or we'll drive to Italy. It might take a few days, but we do that. And hopefully we'll have a gig on the way too. So that splits the journey up. I just love it. I love being on the road. And so do the guys, I think.
I mean,
at least the last time we spoke, which was about 25 weeks ago. No. We're all, we hate each other, but we get on well. Phil Campbell said to me, Phil Campbell from Motorhead.
Oh, yeah?
Because we're from the same streets. We were born in the same village in Wales. So was Tom Jones, by the way. But there's 10 years between all of us, at least. And he said to me, it was great when I first joined Motorhead. We'd get on the bus and we'd talk for hours and hours. And he said, after about 6 months, we just looked at each other. I saw him just recently.
Phil Campbell, that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about a month ago, I think, I saw him. As I say, we're from the same village, so... and we're all leather jackets, including Tom Jones. We're all leather jackets and jeans, Although Tom then went to cabaret and started wearing bow ties, and so did I, because I went with him. And I did that. I was with Tom for 7 years, actually, right through the 60s. So it's transitioned from being a rock and roll singer, actually. I must get that right, because... it's Jerry Lee and Little Richard, and he's throwing a ballad. And then, so we were all rockers, in leather jackets, jeans, as I said. And he suddenly took this turn into cabaret, and I went with him because I started off playing jazz, at least listening to jazz. That's how I started. Not necessarily playing it when I was 11, knowing how jazz went, if you like. And that stood me in good stead when Tom started using big bands as his backing group, along with the Squires, which is what we were called then, as the rhythm section. It was a great learning experience for me, and being able to play stuff like that was tremendous with big bands. Absolutely tremendous to me.
And you had mentioned earlier how you still enjoy touring and you love getting out there. This long into your career, what do you see are the key factors to being able to still go out there and tour, never mind enjoying it?
I don't know. I was just born into it, really. Some people want to be rock stars. And of course, that didn't exist in my youth. There were pop groups or beat groups. We didn't become bands until the 70s, and that came from the States, I think. So a rock star was never heard of then. You were either a star or famous or something, but rock star hadn't been coined yet. And I always wanted to be a rock musician, not a rock star. So there's a big difference. Jimmy Page is a rock star. David Gilmour is a rock star. Tremendous players, by the way, and musicians, but they are rock stars. I was never good at blowing my own trumpet, at self-publicity. A lot of people are, but I never have been. So, I hardly ever go on social media. My missus handles that side of things for me. I'm very well, I think. So my father was a tap dancer and singer. So showbiz is in my blood, really, through him. My brother started me off drumming because he was in a marching band and he used to bring his drum home to clean, and I used to clean it. And for doing that, he taught me some drum licks. And I went from there. That was about 10 or 11, something like that.
Throughout your notable career, as you've mentioned, you've been able to work with artists like Jimmy Page, Uriah Heep, AC/DC. What has been some of your favorite work?
There's no such thing. I think work is the important thing here, important word. And somebody very wise said, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. And that's true. And that's why I still love it, I think. Somebody said to me just 2 days ago at a gig, are you thinking of retiring? I said, no, never. I'll never think of it. It's just not in me to, what am I going to do? Sit there and vegetate and watch TV? Nah, not really. It's still exciting to go to a gig, certainly in a foreign country. I love meeting people. I love trying different food. You get a lot of choice when you're in a band, because it's like, what do you want, guys? Pizza? Oh, okay. I never eat pizza, by the way, hardly ever, because that is the alternative you're given when you're a band. Oh, I'll get some pizza in. No, I don't like pizza. Hamburger then? Nah, don't eat hamburgers either. And I don't, actually. But, so, you just take it as it is. And even with that, I still love being on stage and playing with this band.
If you could pick 3 of your personal favorite albums that you were part of throughout your career, what would they be?
That's difficult because once I played on them, I hardly ever listened to them ever again. I suppose Live at Donaldson's got to be one of the biggest, AC/DC. I'm quite proud of that. And probably Razor's Edge because of Thunderstruck. As far as anything else, probably an Earth Band album.
You know what song I love from Razor's Edge? I would love to hear you cover it is Are You Ready? That's on my gym playlist every day.
All right.
Yep. That's a great song to work out to.
Timeline used to play that on stage.
No kidding.
We haven't this year, but we know it, and we used to open the show with it, actually.
That's a great opener.
Yeah. It seems like an appropriate thing, Are you ready? So maybe I'll revisit that again. I don't know. But Angus and Malcolm, what great writers they are. And they never deviated from their mission, if you like, if that's what it was, of playing the way they play. It's absolute genius, I think. I was a fan before I joined the band. I bought the Highway to Hell album and I played it to death. And I was a professional musician at that time. I think I was in Earth Band at the time. And my favorite track from that was Touch Too Much.
I love that song as well. And you know what in particular I loved? I think you were with the band on the tour when Axl Rose had joined Film for Brian Johnson. I thought Axl Rose in particular channeled Bon Scott really well on that.
Yeah, he asked for it, actually.
No kidding.
He asked Angus, I was there when he said it, he said, do you know, how about these songs, one was Touch Too Much, and there was If You Want Blood was another one, and there were a couple of others.
Walk All Over You, I think?
Say again?
Walk All Over You, I think was one night too.
I really can't remember that. I've played it with AC/DC, but not with Axl. To my memory, I don't remember it, but we have done it. I think the first time around I was in, because I joined them twice, in the 90s and 2015-16 for the Rock or Bust tour. And Axel requested that, and Angus said, we don't know him at the moment, but we will by next week. And we did. And it was very successful playing them, because people love those old ones, you know?
Thinking back to that, how was that bringing Axl Rose in?
It was really good. Axel is not Bryant. Anybody knows that. And people say, oh, it's not the real thing, you know, there's no Bon or Brian or Phil Rudd or, you know. Do you enjoy the songs or do you enjoy the songs? Why are you a fan? People say to me, well, you know, it should be Phil Rudd. Of course it should be Phil Rudd. I know that. And I took his place. But he's not available sometimes. You know, what are you going to do? Oh, Phil can't be with us. Oh, let's not do anything. Let's go, just retire, shall we? No, I was, you know, I went to hell. I bought that, you know? I was fan enough to buy that vinyl record. Because that's all there was back then, of course. You know, so I understand about people liking certain things and certain people. It's quite understandable. But you can't not go to a concert because the lead singer's different, or the drummer's different, or as far as you're concerned, you're either a fan or you're not a fan. And some of the super fans, as they're called, the ones that wear the badges and the jackets and show up at every show, some of them, even in Australia, Europe, say, they're magnificent. And we've had a few at Timeline shows, quite a few actually, and some of them become friends of the band and myself. And it's great to see them there. So, you know, we do get AC/DC fans. Some people don't even know what to expect. They wear a t-shirt. I've walked past so many people wearing the t-shirt. And I think that guy or doesn't know anything about this, or who's in the band, or whatever, or even care. And why should they? Okay, that's if you like somebody, that is a subjective opinion. You know, it's not objective. You can say, I like this person. Maybe 1,000 people will agree with you. But there may be 500 that don't agree with you. So saying that, oh, you know, he's the best singer or he's the best drummer is your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but it's your opinion. It's not everybody's opinion. Some people forget that, especially the trolls. It's like, you know, they go overboard sometimes on purpose. You know, somebody had a go at me the other day, not about my drumming, about my teeth.
Now, my last question I have for you, what is some advice you would give to someone to make it in the music industry and stay in it, given your longevity?
Oh, you've got to go along with people. That's one thing. You've got to get on with people, especially your bandmates. You've got to be resilient, of course. You've got to stick to your guns, like AC/DC have, playing their music. And you've got to practice. Jeez, you've got to practice. I don't know, but I've been doing it all my life. Been doing it for 60 years professionally. Professionally. Not just playing drums for 60 years. And it's very difficult, I know, because both my sons are drummers. They're really good players also. And I know how difficult it is. People to get gigs. It's always been difficult. You've got to be as good as you possibly can be. And not mind being uncomfortable or out of your depth or whatever. And just jump in with both feet and get on with it. No matter what age you are. It's a big deal to be a musician, an entertainer of any kind. You know, there's nothing worse than being a comedian, say, you know, walking off to the sound of your own footsteps, you know, no applause, just like, oh, well, see you folks. You know, it's tough being an entertainer of any kind. You know, you've got to practice. You've got to practice your art and not expect to be a rock star straight away, because you ain't going to be. you probably will never be a rock star. I think it might be 1% or even 0.1% of musicians that make it. The rest just can't hack it. Not for any money. And usually it's for no money. So you just got to roll with that. To your end of today's lesson.
It's been great talking to you. That's about all the questions I have. I know pretty soon you will be out touring in support of Timescape. Myself and the whole Metal Express radio crew wishes you a very successful tour and just a very successful run supporting Timescape with Chris Slade's Timeline.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your good wishes too.
If you like the content we bring you about the heavy metal world, please like, subscribe, and comment to help us grow the channel.